thank you for coming to my baby channel. This is my new channel. This is my music channel. Yes, I have 4 other channels. So here I am just basically explaining that here. I don't really like to talk on this channel. I will not do any talking. I will zip it. I will just sing and make music for you guys if you're interested. So basically what has happened to me, I had an awakening. I had an overdose on a plant called Jurema in 2015, and then basically it opened all these channels, and since then I've been doing astrology, I've been writing books. I now have 14 published titles, and yes, I've been writing music as well. So I now have, I think, like seven albums now, just on the internet, and I also have another 4 or so compiled and ready to go. I'm just waiting for the time. And yes, I also have lots and lots of songs that I've learned to play on guitar and such. And yes, I channel shamanic sound. So I've been able to do that since the overdose. And basically, apart from that, I hear and I see, so I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, and that's been with me since 2015, but I also been like that since I was a child. It just hasn't been developed. So if you'd like to know more about me, if you'd like to also buy my music, or if you'd like to listen to it, it's available on Spotify, iTunes. If you look up Polina Outkina, there's a lot of music out there, there's a lot of media out there. So that's great. I also love jamming with people, so if you are in my town, like at the moment I'm in Peru, in Tarapoto, if you'd like, you can come and retreat with me, you can jam with me, you can learn how to sing with me. I could teach you violin or any other instrument that I know how to play, and maybe we'll just like get together and hang out. So I'm also doing that. And yes, I have jam sessions, so I'm inviting people to perform with me, or rather improvise with me. So I love improvising. That's probably the core of my being. So as a musician, I love that a lot more than the songs that I've learned or created. So that's probably the future of my music. And I'd like to also help other people feel the faith and the consciousness and the color of jamming with other musicians, or just jamming by yourself. And also I would love to open your eyes to possibility and natural connection to the DMT gland, the DMT production, basically based on psychedelic sounds. And I'm not talking about any like 60s or 70s movement. I'm actually talking about being able to be natural and producing the sound that you feel like producing. So it's about organic, improvised, shamanic music. And yes, it is about also the world and connecting to your ancestry and your genetics, and being able to produce the sounds that you have somehow known in your past and you can carry with you, and also imitation of nature sounds and the sounds that your body makes inside. Now that's very interesting. So understanding the vibrations of different organs and tissues in your body, and being able to produce sound from the organs out, not imitating any other musicians, not imitating what you've done previously, not learning and not just pounding yourself with music anymore, and being able to also stay young and beautiful, yeah, which is part of my territory here in Peru, by using music as an enlightening tool and a shamanic instrument, and eventually reconfiguring your body, cleansing your blood, changing your organ tissues, activating your pineal gland and your brain by using sound alone. So that is something that I'm doing maybe today for you guys. I'll be doing some singing today, even with a funny cold. And I'd like to involve you in this as a wisdom, as a rite of passage also. And yes, it is maybe a new modality for some, but it definitely has been a godsend to me. So I got through that using ayahuasca. I used ayahuasca and other psychedelic plants in 2015, 14, 13. And then eventually just basically became who I was. So I'm not using these plants anymore. It's just something that's been kind of like left over by the plants. So yes, it is part of my ideology. So anyway, let's cut this video a bit short and talk about the different channels I have. So this is not the only way. I have other channels. So my first channel was the astrology channel. So I have the astrology channel in the links. It's a beautiful, wholesome channel and a gold mine of insights. And I've been doing this for years. And this is how I got around the world. This is how I traveled. This is how I healed my heart and got some faith in humanity, basically just from channeling energy. and being able to tap into frequency. And frequency is all I do, basically. So music is just a small part of that. And astrology has been my godsend tool to communicate with the world so far. So I've been doing that through the study of myself. So I don't look at the books, I just know. And I've downloaded that from the collective consciousness as like a cloud. And that's it, basically. I've done that since. So I'm one of those people, hello, that have just downloaded information from the collective consciousness and didn't have to study a thing. So if you'd like to know more about me, yes, there's also a website, check it out. So it's been my work and my bread for the past 7-8 years. And it's been going great. I've written many books. If you like, you can check out Astrology Manual for 2023. I've just completed it this year. I do one every year. So 2023 in a nutshell for every astrological aspect is available online now. What else? Polina O Inspired Life channel is for people that want to get to know like how to generate those chemicals and hormones that we lose with time. And also if you have depression, if you live in a flat, you don't like yourself, or you don't like your life, or you don't like your mom and dad, and you don't know how to break free, there's quite a good vibe in that channel, and it's very nice for people that have lethargia, apathy, depression, lack of trust in themselves, fibromyalgia, everything that I've had as a kid growing up. So I'm here to help you with a bit of comedy, comic relief, with a little bit of dancing, and some shamanic tools also, and just conversations about life. That's also about my friends. You know, I also talk about people that have broken free from the system and now are living as kind of free radicals in the world, I suppose. So that whole channel is about freedom and about being who you are and just doing what you like. And yes, it's about art and music as well, but it's not about creating something. Like, you don't just make it, you know, and then sell it. It's not about that. It's just about being true and enjoying yourself. And then, you know, accidentally, through self-enjoyment, I end up making some really cool things and I put them online. It's like kind of a very serendipitous way of working with energy. And yes, I am 37 years old and I'm curious about staying youthful and preserving my body, not in the vanity kind of way, but just in the way of understanding like my own sentimentality and my prism of information that I have within my body and within my bloodline. And it's all basically just that whimsical thing, the whimsical thing of being free and just getting curious, and also inspiring other people to get curious too. So I have 2 other channels left to tell you about. Yes, I have the Plant Medicines channel. Now this is probably closer to my audience. So if you want to know anything, like you want to know about ayahuasca, okay, great. Or you want to know about salt, or you want to know about, I don't know, aguaje. What is aguaje? I'll tell you about it. So this whole channel is basically about how to stay youthful and bright. It's just about how to stay young and fresh and conscious and healthy pretty much forever. So the whole channel is just about plants and herbs, and also mental clarity, mental health, based on certain things that you can use in your diet, and also about how to take care of yourself and about how not to take care of yourself. And yeah, for some people that are very, very specific about diet choices, this is a great channel. So I talk about veganism, I talk about organ meats, you know, I talk about bee pollen, you know, all of that stuff as well. And also a little bit about fitness, if you like, if you're interested, you know, if you like. It's also kind of like a slightly terrifying channel for me, because like I'm talking about drugs, like and use of drugs. But yeah, like because of this, I think it's going to be very helpful for some people, and I'm going to see myself more clearly at the end of the day. Everything I do is just for me. It's just curious for me, so I share it. You know, that's kind of like how it works. And yeah, I'm a little bit nervous because I do talk about like ayahuasca and coca, which is like the base of Coca-Cola and cocaine, you know, and other hidden plants, and also, you know, use of alcohol, for example, use of caffeine, everything like that. So it's a very interesting one, and it uncovers probably every problem that society has. It's just a little more subtle. Now, if you really want to go into the grit of the social experiment that is the planet Earth, and if you want to really find out more about also me and people like myself, and how the hell do we live like this, and what is this, and how, and all of that, and what is the mentality behind the potentially perfect human life, we have to really like grow up here as a species. So it's a very primal and primitive mindset that I have, and I suppose, as you have guessed, to be able to conduct shamanic sound, you got to be really raw and kind of like aggressive energetically, but also get back into the root system of the earth and the primitive humans. So I talk a lot about primitivism, and I try to help people get themselves across. So like the whole humanity channel is not just about politics and Bitcoin and this president and other president, what's going to happen in 3 years' time, though I do definitely talk about that as well. I talk about society and the world, where it's all going, but it's more like about how we as humans were actually designed and what we actually want to be. So it's basically stripping back the layers of culture and sophistication and language and countries and all of that stuff, basically to get back, and agriculture, yeah, of course, to get back to the primal roots and the primal root system, which probably will help anybody, even if you're like an engineer or entrepreneur, to basically click back as to what are you a part of, and also what are you afraid of. So it's a restructuring channel, and I think that some of my audience on this channel might find that one interesting too, because it basically cuts to the bone of society. And if you want to know about yourselves and you want to stop asking these philanthropical questions you don't have any answers to, it might have at least a link or two. So it's about primal nature, it's about primitivism, it's about the genetic at the start of our evolution here as a species, it's about race, it's about politics, it's about, yeah, it's about differences, it's about class systems, it's about why we have positions, why we have religion, all of these really, really crazy things. So I've been putting these videos on my other channels, not knowing what to do with them. And it started on my astrology channel, and then I got kind of like frightened as to what people might think of me. And if I would like lose client base, you know, because it's like quite a scary world out there. There's so much ignorance. But eventually kind of evolved into just like, in a way, being able to classify myself as these different beings. And then all these different energies are just speaking through different channels. So that's why I have 5 of them now. Thank you so much for signing up to 1 or 2 or 3, whichever ones. I will be very careful and kind on this channel. And I promise you that on my music channel, I will be careful with my words and very careful with my frequencies. And I hope that you enjoy the journey. And I hope it is kind and sophisticated enough for my ear-sensitive audience. Thank you very much. Enjoy. And yes, I'll see you next time. And also check out my website and other things in the caption below. Thank you. Bye.